I saved the whole sect by playing badly. Chapter 29 KFC Chicken. Using Xuanyunzong and his group to stop Yu Qingzong's footsteps meant that no one would come to trouble them in a short time. Monsters can be seen everywhere in the Great Secret Realm, and their levels are not low. Not long after the three of them left, a few red and white mice emerged from the wet soil hole. It's the size of a dog, with sharp teeth, and its alienated appearance is disgusting. Zhu Shi smelled the prey, his eyes glowed red, and he seemed to be able to pounce on him in the next second. Yi Qiao rubbed her arm. Ever since she was a child, she hated mice the most. Be careful. Duan Hengdao looked solemn. That's a white-haired fire rat. They have poisonous teeth. Although their cultivation level is not high, they're extremely difficult to deal with in large numbers. After all, creatures like rats lay their cubs in litters, so the large numbers are understandable. As soon as he finished speaking, several white-haired fire rats rushed over with their teeth bared. Mu Chongxi swung his sword and chopped off a few of them, and then two more rushed over in the next second. Duan Hengdao has a magic weapon for defense, but he can't stand the gnawing of so many mice. His scalp is almost numb. Yi Qiao used the first move of the Qingfeng Ju, and knocked back a dozen of them with one sword, but it seemed like she couldn't kill them all. She followed her one after another. While dodging, she noticed that each hole seemed to hold only one mouse. Come out, and the order in which each hole comes out is regular, so that one after another can completely prevent the group from being wiped out by the monk's big moves. Pretty smart. Do you have a hammer? Yi Qiao asked Duan Hengdao. Have. Qi Shu has all kinds of weapons, so he quickly found 3 hammers and gave them to the two. By the way, he used the defensive magic weapon to resist the attack of the white-haired fire rat. Looking at the rats outside, Duan Hengdao couldn't stop feeling shabby. When will this be called? Just when he was secretly desperate, Yi Qiao suddenly asked, have you ever hit a gopher? What? What gopher? Yi Qiao, we'll watch by the hole when we finish dealing with the outside ones before they come out. Listen to my command. She pointed to the 3 pits not far away. 4th senior brother, you go and guard the 3 places. Duan Hengdao, you go to the other side. Yi Qiao had already calculated the rules at this moment, and asked people to guard the entrance of the cave where they came out in advance, so as to ensure that every shot was accurate. Duan Hengdao was still a little scared. Really? Don't lie to me. What if Yi Qiao misremembered the order and was bitten by that thing? Mu Chongxi urged him. Don't worry, my junior sister can never forget it with her photographic memory. This thing is nothing to her. He trusted Yi Qiao completely, and didn't feel at all what would happen if he failed. Duan Hengdao has always been timid. Seeing Mu Chongxi's determined eyes, he also tried to nod. Okay. Anyway, these two people who followed Chang Mingzong came here. What else can Yi Qiao do if I don't believe it? After the 3 of them dealt with the mice surrounding the outer door, they quickly followed Yi Qiao's words and started, whack-a-mole, by guarding the entrance of the hole. A few white-haired fire rats came out of the hole, bared their teeth, and were about to pounce on them. The next second, their heads were just exposed, and they were smashed straight with a big hammer. It was dizzy and shook its head, then lay down on the ground without moving. One person guards 3 holes, and it is extremely smooth to play bang bang bang. After a while, all the mice in the hole were knocked out and passed out. Duan Hengdao smashed for half an hour. His tired wrists were sore. He slumped on the ground and gasped for breath. These things can be used to practice weapons. It's worth selling it. After all, it is a monster that only appears in a great secret realm, and the price is not much lower. Yi Qiao looked at the mouse at her feet that was bigger than a dog, paused, and put it in a mustard bag without disdain. Although she doesn't refine weapons, she can keep them and sell them for money. Although money is not everything in the realm of comprehension, it is absolutely impossible without money. Duan Hengdao looked at her actions. He actually admired Yi Qiao's memory. How could he be able to observe the surrounding environment distractedly while fighting? And the most shocking thing is that she was able to write down the rules and order of the appearance of the white-haired fire rat. How did the brain grow? Duan Hengdao couldn't help but want to poach people from his own sect. Yi Qiao, I really think you are suitable to be an instrument repairer. It's a pity not to be a craftsman with this memory. Mu Chongxi was very dissatisfied. Hey, that's our sect's little junior sister. Who wants to be a stinky refiner? Duan Hengdao let out a hey and was unhappy. What is a stinky refining weapon? Do you know how much one of our magical artifacts is worth? Seeing that the two were arguing and about to fight, Yi Qiao made a quiet gesture. Did you hear anything? What? Yi Qiao released her consciousness, scanned the surroundings carefully, and soon found a red turkey nesting under a tree stump. Her eyes lit up. Hush. There is meat to eat. That turkey seemed very courageous. After looking at Yi Qiao for a long time, it flapped its wings and was about to slip away. Yi Qiao tried to catch it and roasted it, and seemed to sense her strong malice. The turkey fluttered its wings in horror. Because it couldn't fly, it also tried to play with Yi Qiao like King Qin walking around the pillar. Really smart. Pity it didn't work. Yi Qiao grabbed it firmly and smiled triumphantly. Where do you want to go? The turkey flapped vigorously twice but failed to get rid of her restraint. Mu Chongxi raised his eyebrows when he saw what the junior sister was holding in her hand, a red bird. It's so small. Yi Qiao swallowed. It's a bit small, but it shouldn't be a problem to bake it. Turkey was furious and began to struggle. Duan Hengdao took a closer look. He has gone out to practice more times, so he is more knowledgeable than these two. After pondering for a moment, he said, it should be a monster. It raised its head proudly, waiting for Yi Qiao's compliment. Unexpectedly, she was even more horrified. Monster. Whose monster looks like this? The turkey was so angry that it stretched its neck and began to peck her hand vigorously. Not to mention the strength, Yi Qiao's fingertip was pecked with a drop of blood, and she frowned. Look, isn't this just a chicken? ? Quote. The voice just fell. A red light flashed. The contract is reached. The unexpected speed caused the two parties to split apart. The turkey was furious. It didn't intend to make a contract with her at the beginning. Although it came to find its master, the master it fell in love with should be a girl in a light blue dress, with top-quality water spirit roots, excellent talent, and a powerful personality. Transport. As a result, he was caught by this cunning human being without realizing it for a while, so forget it, and she even made a contract with her. Ah, what a shame. It was so angry that it threw itself on her lap, hugged Yi Qiao and began to peck her. Yi Qiao's mentality also collapsed. She frantically flicked her legs to try to keep her away from her. Ah, let me go, ugly thing. Obviously, one person and one beast dislike each other. In other words, no one looks down on anyone at the moment. Duan Hengdao was startled by this weird development. He has seen all kinds of big storms, but he didn't expect this to happen. He stretched out his hand and pulled the chicken off. You two have already made a contract. Unless one of them dies, there is no way to break it. Having said that, every monk chooses a contracted beast carefully. Where is she so dramatic and casual? Yi Qiao took a deep breath, lowered her head sullenly. Can it fly? Others say how handsome the Killen treasure hunting beast is, and why is her contract beast a chicken? Duan Hengdao, I'm afraid I can't. Yi Qiao teased it maliciously. It's so fat, why don't we braise it? Do you think braised chicken wings are better, or beggar chicken? Listening to her description, Duan Hengdao couldn't help swallowing. Let's braise it in red, I like salty. Nonsense. Wrong. How could he be led astray? No. Yi Qiao. Duan Hengdao said, I don't think it should be a chicken, and a cub doesn't have much meat right now, at least wait until it grows up a bit. Turkey. Are you human? After Duan Hengdao finished speaking, he realized that the more he chatted, the more crooked he became. He covered his eyes. What I mean is, we can't roast it. The two of you are now one. If it dies, you will be backlashed. Yi Qiao said hi at most, but she didn't really plan to braise the chicken. She sighed, forget it. Let's take care of it first. Sure enough, everyone has their own destiny. Yi Qiao remembered that the heroine was riding a green loon, a blue phoenix bird, with a fairy air. What about her? When people are on the road, they're always domineering, and she is riding a stupid chicken that can't fly. It is said that the stupid bird flies first. Why don't you fly one and let me see? She poked it with a branch. She is already poor enough to eat dirt, so why give her a gold-swallowing beast? What is it called? Do overbearing monsters force love? Turkey is also angry. This merciless human being. So many monks wanted to contract it but they didn't have the chance, but she still wanted to run away. Mu Chongshi stretched out his hand and grabbed the turkey. Seeing that his junior sister was languid, he held back a smile and tried to comfort her. This is still a cub, like a monster that grows very slowly. Heavenly spirit and earthly treasure to feed it. It's the so-called 18 changes of women's university. Maybe it will look good when it grows up. Yi Qiao stood up. I'd better think about how to put it back into the furnace and rebuild it. She has no money. Duan Hengdao. He immediately took out a small box from the mustard bag. I saved this before, and it was originally intended to be used as a refiner. You can feed it to it first. After Yi Qiao opened it, she was taken aback by the heat blowing towards her face. What is this? Fire spar. Duan Hengdao explained. It can be used to refine weapons, and it can also be eaten by monsters. Yi Qiao raised her eyebrows slightly. She knew about this. The Great Secret Realm in the original book came earlier for some reason. Yun Qiu contracted the treasure hunting beast in the Secret Realm, and under the leadership of the other party, he found the fire-type crystal mine, which was shared equally with the sword seekers, and under Yi Qing'an's connivance and instruction, she almost took nearly half of it. This rare fire-type crystal ore was used by Yun Qiu in the later stage to buy a lot of people's hearts. As a result, almost everyone in the comprehension world praised Yue Qingzong's junior sister for her kindness and generosity. Fire spars are generally found in extremely hot areas. Duan Hengdao took one and fed it to the turkey. If you are lucky enough to come across it, it will definitely be a good burner. Yi Qiao squeezed the chicken. I probably know where it is. Where? Mu Chongshi suddenly recovered. I'll take you there later. After she finished speaking, she lowered her head and stared at the turkey for a long time, then tentatively said, let me give you a name. What do you think of the name Turkey? It immediately started pecking her frantically. Come on. It seems to be dissatisfied. Yi Qiao had no choice but to change the name. She looked at it for a long time and suddenly thought, since you are a chicken, why not call it Kentucky Chicken? I don't know if it's an illusion, but Yi Qiao always thinks that this chicken can understand human speech. She foolishly said without changing her face, with us, this name is only worthy of being possessed by extremely domineering people. Ordinary people don't even have the qualifications to take this name. Chevron_left